Each year, the United States spends over $210 billion on food imports, enough to turn the country into the largest agricultural consumption machine on the planet. However, a new wave of tariffs, reaching up to 25% on millions of tons of strategic goods, is beginning to shake a supply system that has been optimized over decades. Which countries hold the keys to these critical supply chains? And what happens if those flows are suddenly disrupted? Today, join Agriculture Insight as we decode the cross-border networks behind every meal consumed by more than 300 million Americans. Every day, a massive flow of goods moves quietly across the US-Mexico border, turning this 3,100-kilometer stretch into one of the busiest trade corridors on the planet. Mexico has overtaken China to become the United States' largest trading partner, with agricultural products serving as the backbone of the food supply chain. Out of every 100 tomatoes on American dining tables, nearly half carry the mark of Mexico. With import values reaching around $2.5 billion, Mexican tomatoes account for about 31% of all tomatoes entering the U.S. market, a figure that reflects a near-total dependence. Behind this dominance lies more than 60,000 hectares of greenhouses, operating like modern, biological complexes, where agriculture is no longer left to the mercy of weather. In the state of Sinaloa, hydroponic technology allows precise control over every variable, from light and temperature to nutrients, turning plant growth into a fully programmable system. These tomatoes are not harvested when fully ripe, but at the exact moment they begin to change color, the optimal balance between firmness and shelf life. They then pass through optical sensor-based sorting lines, where each fruit is carefully screened to achieve near-perfect uniformity, before continuing its journey thousands of kilometers into the heart of America's food supply chain. Continuing the chain of strategic agricultural products, Mexican avocados dominate up to 90% of the U.S. market, holding a near-monopoly position in a billion-dollar import supply chain. The heart of this system lies in the state of Michoacán, the only region in the world capable of harvesting avocados year-round, thanks to its layered elevations that stagger ripening seasons across orchards. In Mexico, avocados are so valuable that they have become targets for criminal cartels, with protection fees ranging from 10 to 15 cents per pound of produce. Yet beyond domestic security pressures, every avocado must undergo an exceptionally strict industrial processing system to meet the standards set by the U.S. Department of Agriculture. Once qualified, each fruit passes through optical sensor systems designed to detect even the smallest imperfections on its delicate skin, a critical requirement to activate the entire cross-border cold chain. From this point, only avocados that reach approximately 21% dry matter content and show no signs of spreading dark bruises are allowed to proceed. Any deviation is immediately eliminated from the export chain. Beyond greenhouse produce, 90% of Mexico's exported watermelons have a single destination, the U.S. market, with over 1.2 billion pounds shipped annually. This volume may account for only about 1/3 of Mexico's domestic production, yet it plays a critical balancing role when southern U.S. states halt production due to frost. In Sonora and Chihuahua, regions defined by hot semi-desert climates with average temperatures around 25 degrees Celsius, massive watermelon fields enter peak harvest right in the middle of winter. The entire harvesting process is carried out manually, largely by migrant laborers from southern states who travel thousands of kilometers north for wages averaging just $2 to $4 per hour. From there, all harvested watermelons are cleaned using low-pressure spray systems, then labeled for traceability before being stacked onto large pallets. Crucially, by leveraging low labor costs and continuous harvesting cycles, Mexican watermelons are often priced up to 15% lower than those grown in Florida or Georgia during peak season. Every year, it travels thousands of kilometers by rail before pouring into the U.S. market. Across the vast prairie region, spanning nearly 50 million hectares, mineral-rich soils combined with low humidity during the grain-filling stage allow wheat to accumulate protein with remarkable consistency. On these immense fields, massive combine harvesters equipped with cutting headers over 10 meters wide operate like automated production lines, ensuring uniform raw material quality right from harvest while minimizing grain damage. Yet the true advantage of Canadian wheat lies not in sheer volume, but in the precise control of its biological variables. Hard red spring wheat consistently maintains a protein content of 13 to 15%, a critical threshold that directly determines dough elasticity, gas retention, and stability in industrial processing. This is why the United States, despite being one of the world's leading wheat powers, with around 45 million tons produced annually, still relies on Canadian wheat imports for blending, creating flour with consistent quality for millions of loaves of bread, pizzas, and baked goods every day. The supply chain extends all the way to the Southern Hemisphere. Each year, the United States imports around 70,000 to 80,000 tons of lamb, with more than half coming from New Zealand, over 12,000 kilometers away. With a flock of roughly 25 million sheep, about 5 times its population, New Zealand operates a low-density yet highly efficient grazing system across tens of millions of hectares of natural pasture. Thanks to its stable temperate climate, sheep are raised entirely on grass year-round, requiring little to no industrial feed, a cost factor that can account for up to 70% of production expenses in the U.S. This also eliminates the need for intensive housing systems, significantly reducing input costs while maintaining consistent meat quality. Compared to Australia, which focuses on higher volumes with older sheep that produce stronger flavors, nearly 80% of New Zealand lamb exported to the U.S. comes from animals under 12 months old. The result is a milder taste, less gamey flavor, and a more tender texture, making it particularly well-suited to American consumer preferences, especially in restaurants and premium retail chains. Beyond lamb, few people realize that New Zealand's most valuable export is actually Manuka honey, a rare variety produced from the native Manuka flower, which blooms for only about 6 weeks each year and can be priced 20 to 100 times higher than regular honey. To harvest the purest honey, producers use helicopters to transport beehives deep into isolated, steep valleys where virtually no other plant species exist. This ensures the bees feed exclusively on Manuka flowers, producing honey with exceptionally high levels of methylglyoxal, the key compound responsible for its powerful antibacterial properties, unmatched by any other type of honey. There is, however, a striking reality. New Zealand produces only around 1,700 tons of Manuka honey annually, yet as much as 10,000 tons labeled Manuka are sold worldwide. As a result, any batch exported to the U.S. must undergo rigorous DNA testing and chemical analysis to verify the exact origin of the hives and the timing of harvest. Each year, the United States imports roughly 1,500 tons, a relatively small share compared to the global supply. Yet it remains the most premium-paying market, where prices can reach $100 to $500 per kilogram. At that level, Manuka honey is valued not merely as a sweetener, but as a highly stable, natural antibacterial product. As the world's largest market for processed meat consumption, the United States imports tens of thousands of tons of premium cured meats from Italy each year, where agricultural products are not just food, but heritage protected by law. Within the roughly 40,000 tons of cured meats entering this market, Capicolo consistently sits at the top of the premium segment. Thanks to artisanal techniques deeply tied to local conditions in regions such as Calabria and Piacenza. After being cured with sea salt and native herbs, the pork is not processed by machines, but left to time itself. During the air drying process, natural enzymes break down proteins, creating a tender texture and complex flavors that industrial curing systems struggle to replicate. This level of craftsmanship pushes the price of DOP-certified capocolo to around $100 per kilogram, roughly 4 times higher than mass-produced domestic cold cuts, driven by the cumulative costs of strict EU origin protection systems and rigorous USDA import standards for uncooked cured meats. Continuing Italy's legacy of culinary heritage, olive oil remains one of the most widely consumed products in the United States. Yet domestic production in California meets only about 3% of demand. This gap forces the U.S. to spend over $1 billion annually on imports from Italy, turning olive oil from a simple kitchen staple into a direct financial variable on the menus of thousands of restaurants. However, the label, "Made in Italy," does not fully reflect the origin of the raw materials. Much of the olives are actually grown across millions of hectares in Spain. After harvest, the oil is transported to Italy, where facilities handle refining, blending, and quality control under strict standards to ensure consistent flavor across seasons. As a result, olive oil carries significantly higher production costs than other vegetable oils such as canola or soybean oil, and, leveraging Italian branding, can be sold at prices up to 20% higher than the same raw material when exported. Notably, prolonged droughts in Europe have reduced yields and pushed olive prices to their highest levels in over 30 years. In response, olive oil prices in the U.S. nearly doubled within just 2 years, highlighting how sensitive this market is to climate shifts occurring thousands of kilometers away. Leaving behind the farmlands of Europe and the Americas, the center of U.S. imports is now pivoting eastward, toward Asia, where the region commands over 90% of seafood and processed food supplies, with trade values exceeding $30 billion annually. In just 3 decades, the United States has become the world's largest shrimp importer, leading the absorption of Asia's industrial shrimp farming boom. Around 90% of shrimp consumed in the U.S. is imported, with white-leg shrimp, a species that reaches market size in just 90 to 120 days, allowing for high-density farming with stable survival rates, far surpassing lobster, crab, and most domestic seafood to become the dominant supply. Driven by intensive farming across hundreds of thousands of hectares, combined with low labor costs and on-site processing and freezing systems, India has pushed shrimp prices down to just $4 to $6 per kilogram, nearly half the cost of wild-caught shrimp from the Gulf of Mexico. This price gap is enough to reshape the entire economic equation. For restaurant chains and retailers, imported shrimp is not only cheaper, but also offers consistent, large-scale supply, something wild fisheries struggle to maintain. However, this dominance has been disrupted by some of the strictest legal barriers in the industry's history. Shrimp imports from India, particularly under anti-dumping investigations, have at times faced total tariffs approaching 60%, among the highest ever recorded. Although these have since been reduced to around 18% following trade agreements, uncertainty continues to loom over the supply chain, forcing distributors to diversify sourcing and rethink pricing strategies. Facing even harsher tariffs than India is China, the United States' direct counterpart in one of the most intense trade conflicts today. Since early 2025, Washington has imposed an additional 10% tariff on Chinese agricultural products, quickly doubling it in response to retaliatory measures from Beijing. Yet despite these political barriers, Chinese garlic continues to dominate the U.S. market, backed by a production system that is virtually unmatched. In key regions such as Shandong, with its sandy clay soils and ideal temperate climate, the growing cycle extends to 8 to 9 months, allowing garlic bulbs to develop larger sizes, firmer cloves, and remarkable uniformity. More importantly, production costs are about 60% lower than in California, where labor, irrigation, and environmental compliance costs continue to rise. To ensure a clean, white final product, harvested garlic is sent to large-scale processing facilities, where thousands of workers peel it by hand, supported by hot air drying systems to stabilize moisture levels. The result is uniformly white, low-impurity garlic that can be stored for months in refrigerated containers and shipped across the Pacific. A key advantage that allows China to maintain its edge even under rising tariffs. Before a new meal is ever prepared, a vast and largely unseen logistics operation is already at work on the factory floor. For newly landed flights, all plates, trays, and catering carts are unloaded, sorted, and fed into massive industrial washing systems. Each day, this facility processes up to 3 million pieces of tableware, operating with the speed and precision of an engineered production line. Once cleaned, the carts are routed onto a 1.5-mile monorail system that connects every kitchen level, allowing enormous volumes of equipment to move safely and continuously. This preparatory stage lays the foundation for the entire in-flight catering process. Once all equipment has been thoroughly cleaned and prepared for a new production cycle, the operation immediately shifts to receiving fresh ingredients. Unlike meat and fish, which can be stored for extended periods in cold storage, vegetables for in-flight meals must be replenished continuously, because even a delay of a few hours can cause freshness to fall below aviation standards. For this reason, produce is delivered directly from partner farms, stacked on large pallets, and subjected to rigorous inspection right at the warehouse entrance before being cleared to enter the next stage of processing. Our journey begins with the appetizers, where salads that appear simple play a crucial role in opening the in-flight dining experience. To make that possible, we step into the first kitchen of this massive airline catering facility, the vegetable preparation area. Once received, fresh produce must enter the processing line within no more than 4 hours, a strict time limit considered essential to meet aviation freshness standards. Here, vegetables such as cabbage, lettuce, and cherry tomatoes used for salads are pre-cut to standardized sizes, ensuring portion consistency and maintaining the precise rhythm required for the downstream production flow. Beyond salads, this area also prepares a wide range of fruits and vegetables. Bell peppers, melons, dragon fruit, strawberries, destined for different stages of in-flight meals, from main courses to desserts. Once all components are ready, airline salad preparation enters the mixing and finishing stage, where precision defines the final quality. Greens and accompanying ingredients are placed into industrial mixers operating at low speed to prevent bruising. Each mixing cycle lasts only about 90 seconds, just enough to distribute the ingredients evenly while preserving their natural texture. The salad is then portioned and assembled along a large-scale catering line, ensuring consistency across all meals on the same flight. Dressing, a particularly sensitive element in the aviation environment, is rarely mixed directly. Rich dressings such as mayonnaise or traditional Caesar, as well as those high in dairy or butter, are typically restricted because they tend to separate and develop heavier aromas at high altitude. When used, formulations are adjusted by reducing fat content and slightly increasing acidity to maintain stability. Finally, the dressing is packaged separately and paired with components such as chicken breast, chilled pasta, cheese, or toasted nuts, allowing the salad to retain its appearance and flavor until it is served high above the clouds. From the familiar family meal, rice preparation in aviation enters an entirely different world. One where rice is cooked continuously to serve more than 30,000 passengers every day. The process begins with automated rice weighing, where each batch is precisely portioned before being transferred into massive industrial cookers. From there, water is automatically dispensed according to pre-programmed ratios, ensuring the rice maintains a stable structure after hours of chilling and subsequent reheating. In industrial kitchens, rice is not fully cooked, but stopped at around 70 to 80% doneness, enough for the grains to expand without becoming completely soft. Immediately afterward, the rice is rapidly chilled to lock in its structure and prevent further cooking. Once on board, aircraft ovens complete the remaining cooking using residual heat during reheating. While Asian airlines such as Singapore Airlines and Japan Airlines tend to prioritize rice on domestic and regional routes, many European and Middle Eastern carriers consider pasta a foundational choice for long-haul and multinational journeys. To produce more than 1,000 portions of fresh pasta for in-flight service, the process begins with dough mixing in large-scale industrial mixers, where flour, water, and eggs are calibrated with percentage-level precision. The dough is then briefly rested to stabilize its structure before passing through rolling systems and extrusion dies, forming a variety of pasta shapes. From long spaghetti strands to short pasta such as penne, fusilli, and macaroni. Immediately after shaping, the pasta is cooked in industrial boilers holding hundreds of liters, then rapidly cooled to preserve elasticity. For short pasta, the pieces are lightly pre-coated with a thin layer of sauce to prevent sticking and ensure even coverage during reheating. In parallel, sauces are prepared on a separate line. Ripe tomatoes are crushed and simmered in stainless steel vats holding thousands of liters, combined with olive oil, herbs, and precisely measured seasonings. Finally, the pasta is portioned into specialized trays, finished with sauce and sealed with foil to maintain structure, moisture, and flavor until it is served in the air. Beyond rice and pasta, the two familiar pillars of airline meals, dumplings emerge as a more delicate option, typically reserved for special menus on Asian routes such as China, Hong Kong, and Taiwan. The process begins with filling preparation, where time races against each aircraft's departure schedule. Onions and scallions are rapidly processed in the vegetable prep area, then combined with ground meat to create a filling that is uniform in texture. In parallel, the dough is prepared on a separate production line, using specialized starch blends, undergoing controlled mixing and rolling. Rather than relying on manual labor, automated forming systems handle portioning the filling, pleating the wrappers, and sealing the edges with precise pressure, allowing each dumpling to be produced with consistent shape in a short time frame. Before leaving the line, the dumplings are partially steamed to approximately 50% doneness to set their form, ready for subsequent cooling, storage, and final preparation within the continuously operating airline catering chain. In airline catering, most savory dishes are never fully cooked before takeoff. Omelets are one of the rare exceptions. Because eggs are highly perishable and carry higher risks during reheating, omelets served in economy class must be cooked 100% on the ground and only gently reheated on board. The process begins with fresh eggs delivered daily, which are screened for foreign objects, industrially washed, and automatically cracked to eliminate any risk of shell contamination. Yolks and whites are separated and only recombined once, both meet quality standards. The mixture then enters a semi-automated cooking line, where machines precisely dispense oil and egg while human operators control temperature and color. Each batch cooks for only a few dozen seconds before being rapidly chilled, allowing the line to produce over 20,000 omelets per day during peak operation. For business and first-class cabins, pasta or rice paired with salad is no longer enough to deliver a complete dining experience. As a result, airline kitchens must prepare dishes of a higher standard, with filet steak standing as a defining choice of that level of refinement. Inside the premium kitchen of an airline catering facility, this steak is treated as a precise technical challenge, beginning with rigorous meat selection and trimming. Beef is sourced from top-grade fresh batches and subjected to multiple layers of evaluation, including tenderness, muscle fiber structure, and intramuscular fat distribution. Skilled technicians may spend up to 2 hours carefully trimming each fillet with specialized knives, meticulously removing connective tissue, excess fat, and any sections likely to shrink or dry out during reheating. Only cuts with uniform thickness, fine grain, stable fat distribution, and high moisture retention capacity are approved for premium cabins, a filtering step designed to ensure consistency across thousands of high-end meals. Beyond filet steak, kingfish is another premium option favored by airlines for its stable texture and refined flavor. To prepare kingfish for in-flight service, the process begins with a fresh fish stock, made by simmering fish bones with vegetables, herbs, and peppercorns to build a deep flavor base. The fish is brushed with oil, coated in a seasoning blend that includes brown sugar, then quickly seared for about 1 minute per side, just enough to create a light caramelized crust while locking in moisture. In parallel, butter and flour are cooked into a sauce base, combined with the fish stock, cream, lemon, and cayenne pepper. Each day, this kitchen is capable of preparing over 3,000 portions of kingfish in under 5 hours, ensuring a steady supply for continuously departing flights. In the pastry section of an airline catering facility, both scale and precision are pushed to their limits. Each hour, the production line can turn out up to 10,000 croissants, while simultaneously finishing handcrafted items such as fuka pastries, donuts, and cream cakes in a wide range of flavors, from vanilla and chocolate to fruit-based variations. Alongside large-scale production, pastry chefs continue to innovate, developing new desserts each quarter, including chocolate brownies and floating custard cakes in vanilla sauce. These recipes are streamlined for airline service while preserving a sense of refinement and premium quality. Every dessert is engineered to maintain its shape, texture, and flavor under flight conditions, where temperature, humidity, and service timing constantly fluctuate. Once completed, each pastry is rapidly chilled and carefully packaged to meet aviation standards, minimizing deformation and quality loss throughout transport, storage, and reheating before being served to passengers in the air. Once the meals are fully packaged, they immediately leave the kitchen through a closed logistics flow, moving directly from the ground to the aircraft within a strictly programmed time window. From that moment, the race against time enters its final phase, and responsibility for completing the meal is handed over to the cabin crew. Before becoming the crispy slices found in every bag of Lay's, potatoes undergo a long journey underground, carefully nurtured and irrigated over a period of 90 to 120 days. In the fall, as the weather cools and temperatures in Idaho, known as the potato capital of the United States, reach the ideal range of 15 to 18 degrees Celsius, vast potato fields begin their harvest season. This is also when specialized harvesting machines are brought into operation, marking the start of one of the most critical and active phases in Lay's production process. At the front of the machine is a set of sharp plow blades designed to penetrate the soil to a depth of around 15 to 20 centimeters, just enough to reach the full cluster of potatoes without causing damage. As the machine moves forward, the blades gently lift the entire row of soil along with the fully matured tubers. Next, the soil and potatoes are transferred onto a vibrating conveyor system. Here, the vibrations, precisely calibrated in both frequency and amplitude, help separate out rocks, roots, weeds, and other debris, leaving only clean, intact potatoes to continue along the line. The potatoes are then transferred to a side conveyor, which gently loads them into a specialized truck driving alongside the harvester. Thanks to the conveyor's flexible design, the tubers are evenly distributed without impact or bruising. The entire process runs continuously and in sync between the harvester and the transport truck, optimizing efficiency and minimizing downtime caused by waiting for collection. Each specialized truck typically holds between 20 to 25 tons of potatoes. In addition, the system features an automatic soil return mechanism. The loosened topsoil is redistributed back into the original furrows, helping maintain soil fertility and structure for future growing seasons. With a length of nearly 12 meters and a weight of over 20 tons, this potato harvester truly functions as a mobile factory. Powerful yet precise, allowing layers to maintain quality control right from the very first step of production. The entire harvesting process operates as a closed, seamless, and highly efficient system directly in the field. Each component of the machine, from the digging blades and vibrating conveyor to the side-loading belt, performs a specific role and works in coordination to ensure smooth, uninterrupted collection. But before reaching the Lay's factory, millions of potatoes go through an initial sorting stage, right at the transfer stations located next to the farms. Here, trucks line up one after another to unload their harvest into massive receiving hoppers. The vibrating sorting system kicks into gear immediately, bright red machines running non-stop, pushing the potatoes through a series of conveyors, mesh screens, and rotating shafts. Rocks, roots, and soil are filtered out, while quality potatoes are sorted by size and prepared for the next stage. The air is filled with the constant roar of engines, clanging metal, and falling soil. Workers stay on their feet, working tirelessly to keep up with the pace. These grading systems can handle over 200 tons of potatoes per day, equivalent to the weight of around 30 airplanes. Right after sorting, the potatoes are moved into advanced cold storage rooms maintained at a steady 7 to 10 degrees Celsius. The ideal range to keep them fresh, prevent sprouting, minimize softening or discoloration, and avoid deep chilling that can alter starch structure. This temporary hibernation phase not only helps preserve quality, but also acts as a kind of pressure valve, allowing the factory to maintain a consistent flow of fresh raw material throughout the production season. And then, one by one, the trucks roll out from the storage facility, carrying potatoes that are now ready to be awakened by the processing lines ahead. At the factory, the freshly awakened potatoes immediately enter a strict cleaning phase. They are first sent into massive whirlpool tanks that function like industrial washing machines. Powerful circulating water removes soil clinging to the skins while keeping the potatoes intact. Next, a system of high-pressure spray nozzles blasts water from multiple directions, flushing away any remaining dirt or debris. The entire process is fully enclosed and closely monitored to ensure the potatoes are thoroughly cleaned before moving on. This automated cleaning system not only boosts efficiency by up to 5 times compared to manual methods, but also saves up to 2/3 of the water, making it both effective and sustainable. Clean doesn't mean ready. Not every potato is fit to become a Lay's chip. After washing, the potatoes continue along the conveyor to the sorting area. Here, high-speed cameras and precision sensors scan each potato individually, assessing its size, shape, and weight within a fraction of a second. At speeds of up to 240 potatoes per second, those that are too small, misshapen, or show signs of damage are immediately removed from the line using targeted bursts of compressed air. Only the most uniform, healthy potatoes are selected to move forward in the production process. In the past, manual sorting was slower and could result in up to 15 to 20% waste, with many good potatoes mistakenly discarded. Today, thanks to advanced automation, the process is not only faster, but also far more accurate and efficient. While potatoes can technically be eaten with their skins, Lay's removes the outer peel to achieve a cleaner, crispier, and more refined texture. That's where the peeling machines come in. As the drum rotates, the surface of each potato rubs against the inner walls of the machine, quickly removing the outer skin through constant abrasion. At the same time, water flows through the system, washing away the loosened peels and leaving behind smooth, clean potatoes ready for slicing. After peeling, the potatoes are immediately fed into high-speed slicing machines. Each potato is gently pressed against a spinning blade disc, cutting it into uniformly thin slices, just about 1.5 millimeters thick, roughly the thickness of a standard sheet of office paper. This thickness has been standardized through years of optimization to ensure fast and even frying, while maintaining the signature light, crispy texture. If the slices are too thick, the chips become hard and lose their crispness. If too thin, they break easily and are harder to control during frying. Before entering the massive frying vats, each potato slice goes through a final rinse. This step is essential for removing excess starch, which accounts for only about 1 to 2% of each slice's weight, but if not properly washed off, can cause frying oil to become cloudy up to 3 times faster, significantly reducing its lifespan and affecting overall product quality. Next, the slices pass through a vibrating screen system where precisely calibrated vibrations separate any slices that may be sticking together, remove excess surface moisture, and evenly distribute the slices into a thin, uniform layer. If slices remain clumped or retain too much water, their contact time with the oil becomes inconsistent, leading to uneven frying, with some chips overcooked at the edges, while others fall short of the ideal crispness. When the thin potato slices are ready, they enter one of the most critical stages of the entire production process, high-temperature frying. In a closed-loop continuous frying system, the slices are cooked in refined vegetable oil at a stable temperature of 175 degrees for exactly 3 minutes. The oil used by Lay's is low in saturated fats and rich in unsaturated fatty acids, making the final product lighter to digest while maintaining an ideal crispy texture. The frying oil is not only replaced on a regular schedule, but also continuously filtered during operation. This helps maintain the oil's clarity, reduce the buildup of burnt particles, extend oil life, and ensure consistent product quality. Notably, Lay's automated frying system can run 24/7, processing tons of potatoes daily without interruption, a key factor in maintaining stable output to meet global demand. Hot oil plays a crucial role in achieving the crispy texture of snacks, but without proper control, it can cause the chips to absorb excess oil, turn soggy, and lose their signature flavor. After exiting the 75°C frying chamber, the chips are rapidly cooled using high-pressure cold air, bringing their temperature down to below 40°C within seconds. This quick cooling process locks in their crispiness and minimizes oil reabsorption into the chips. Additionally, it prevents moisture from condensing inside the packaging, helping preserve both the crunch and shelf life of the final product. Immediately after, each potato slice swiftly passes through an inspection area equipped with advanced optical sensors. Hundreds of high-speed cameras operate simultaneously, capable of scanning and analyzing up to 10,000 slices per second, detecting even the slightest defects such as burnt edges, breakage, or irregular shapes. Slices that fail to meet the standards are instantly removed from the conveyor by precisely timed bursts of compressed air, accurate to the millisecond, functioning like an invisible blade to ensure that only the crispiest, most uniform, and visually consistent chips continue down the line. Once the potato chips have cooled and passed every stage of strict quality control, they move into one of the most fascinating steps, seasoning. Here, massive rotating drums spin continuously, while precision-controlled dispensers sprinkle seasoning blends at exactly calibrated rates. Inside the drums, the chips tumble and gently collide with one another, allowing the powder to coat both sides evenly, forming a thin, smooth layer that enhances flavor with every bite. The seasoning formulas are tightly guarded secrets, but common ingredients include sea salt, fried onion powder, cheese powder, chili, and ground pepper. each blend carefully paired with proprietary flavorings to create distinct product lines. And Lay's doesn't stop at traditional tastes. The brand has launched over 200 unique flavors globally, surprising consumers with some truly unexpected combinations. Cappuccino-flavored chips in India, fiery wasabi in Japan, or blue cheese mixed with walnut in Russia. Because taste is cultural. A company that aims to win over global markets can't rely on a one-recipe-fits-all strategy. That's why Lay's continues to innovate, ensuring that wherever you are in the world, you can still find a flavor that feels like home. After being coated with the perfect layer of seasoning, the potato chips move on to a fully automated packaging stage. At the top tier of the production line, hundreds of synchronized electronic scales portion out exact amounts of chips into each bag, typically between 28 to 30 grams, matching a standard serving size. On average, the system can seal up to 12,000 bags per hour, ready to serve hundreds of markets worldwide. To preserve that satisfying crunch all the way to the consumer, a burst of pure nitrogen gas is injected into each bag before sealing. This isn't a marketing trick. It's a vital step to displace oxygen, prevent the oil from turning rancid, and lock in freshness as if the chips just left the fryer. The journey of every can of Pepsi begins with groundwater drawn from the Oligocene geological layer, an ancient source known for its exceptional natural purity. However, to meet the demands of high-speed production lines, the water must still undergo a rigorous technical purification process. First, quartz sand filtration tanks remove all suspended impurities. Immediately afterward, reverse osmosis (RO) technology operating under extremely high pressure forces the water through ultrafine membranes, measuring just 0.0001 microns, smaller than a bacterial cell. This stage completely eliminates minerals and microorganisms, transforming the water into a chemically neutral solvent. Returning the water to this state of absolute neutrality is a mandatory standard. It creates the ideal foundation for blending with syrup concentrate, ensuring that every can of Pepsi, anywhere in the world, maintains a nearly identical flavor structure. Once the water base has been fully standardized, it is directed to the storage area housing the most critical ingredient, concentrated syrup. From sealed holding tanks, the syrup concentrate is pumped into the blending section and transferred into large-capacity stainless steel vessels. Here, automated dosing systems combine the concentrate with purified water and sweeteners according to pre-programmed ratios. Mechanical agitators and flow sensors ensure the mixture reaches complete uniformity before moving on to the next stage. To create its signature sweetness, the facility uses liquid sweeteners. In the United States, typically high fructose corn syrup, while many international markets rely on cane sugar syrup. In a standard 330 milliliter can of Pepsi, the sugar content generally ranges between 35 and 39 grams, equivalent to roughly 9 to 10 teaspoons. In terms of acidity structure, Pepsi primarily uses phosphoric acid, similar to many other cola beverages. However, the calibrated balance between sugar, acid, and flavoring components produces a rounder sweetness, smoother finish, and less dry aftertaste compared to competitors within the same segment. However, sweetness is only half of the story. The other half lies in the burst of refreshment released the moment the can is opened, a sensation determined by the cooling and CO2 saturation process. After physicochemical standardization, the mixture is sent into a carbo-cooler system, where it is rapidly chilled to 1 to 2 degrees Celsius. At this stage, food-grade CO2 is injected under high pressure, forcing the gas to bind tightly within the liquid structure before moving on to the filling stage. Pepsi typically maintains a carbonation level of 3.5 to 4.0 volumes. This means that each liter of liquid contains nearly 4 times its own volume of dissolved gas under standard conditions. This parameter is precisely calibrated to generate fine, sharp bubbles that deliver the signature tingling sensation on the tongue and maintain a lively effervescence even when poured over ice. Immediately afterward, the entire product stream moves directly into the rotary filling carousel within a sealed environment. Isobaric filling technology allows PET plastic bottles to be filled without excessive foaming, preserving the precise level of carbonation that was just infused. Instantly, high-speed capping machines seal each bottle with calibrated pressure. At speeds reaching up to 1,500 bottles per minute, that means 25 finished bottles of Pepsi leave the filler every second. But before officially exiting the production line, technicians randomly collect samples for laboratory analysis, rechecking Brix levels and actual carbonation pressure. At the same time, defect detection systems equipped with X-ray scanners and optical sensors inspect every bottle. Any unit with a liquid level deviation of just 1 to 2 millimeters or a slightly misaligned cap is automatically ejected from the line without hesitation. Finally, approved bottles are grouped into multi-packs and pass through a 180°C heat tunnel. Here, shrink film tightly conforms to the surface, forming a stable transport unit that protects the product from physical impact. This process ensures an optimal shelf life of 6 to 9 months for PET plastic bottles and up to 1 year for aluminum cans, thanks to the metal's superior resistance to light and oxygen penetration. From this point, tens of billions of Pepsi products leave factories each year and flow into a vast global distribution network. Although present in more than 200 countries, the United States remains the company's core market, contributing more than half of the corporation's total revenue. Yet even with a massive operational engine, Pepsi still faces the most fortified stronghold in the beverage industry, Coca-Cola. So what enables this more than 130-year-old giant to maintain its global leadership, delivering approximately 1.9 billion servings consumed every single day? Unlike PepsiCo's more centralized production model, Coca-Cola operates through a global, franchised bottling structure. The parent company focuses primarily on producing its concentrated syrup at key strategic facilities, then distributes it to more than 225 independent bottling partners worldwide. These partners complete the final product according to localized water and carbonation standards, allowing Coca-Cola to scale globally without directly operating every manufacturing plant. Most importantly, the core difference lies within the blending tank, where the art of balancing sweetness, acidity, and flavor structure creates an identity fundamentally distinct from Pepsi. Each batch of highly concentrated syrup, a formula that remains 100% confidential, is poured directly into stainless steel tanks, along with purified water and liquid sweetener. From a technical standpoint, Coca-Cola maintains a slightly higher level of phosphoric acid than Pepsi, producing a sharper initial impact on the front of the palate. This acid structure functions as a balancing mechanism, quickly cutting through sweetness and delivering a drier finish after swallowing. Finally, the packaging lines can reach speeds of 40,000 to 60,000 bottles per hour while maintaining extremely low pressure deviation tolerances. In practice, around 60% of Coca-Cola's global output is packaged in PET plastic bottles, a familiar format on supermarket shelves due to its lightweight, low cost, and efficiency in long-distance transportation. However, PET does allow minimal gas permeability over time, leading to gradual reductions in CO2 pressure and subtle changes in flavor structure throughout the product's shelf life. For this reason, aluminum cans and glass bottles, which are virtually impermeable to gas, are still regarded as the gold standard for preserving the beverage's original flavor integrity. Completely different from the warm, robust flavor structures of the three cola brands above, Sprite, the youngest of the group, launched in 1961, made a remarkable surge to become the world's #1 lemon-lime soda. generating more than $5 billion annually for the Coca-Cola company. Notably, although it originated in the United States, China is now the largest Sprite market in the world, contributing more than 1/4 of the brand's total global revenue. In the world's most populous nation, Sprite is more than just a soft drink. It has become a staple ingredient in fruit tea blends and street beverages, helping to build an extensive consumption network centered around lemon lime soda.